Welcome back to Saxthorpe Farms. Now, in the last episode, we drilled our field to the left of us with, get out, go the right way, oats. So that's all done, sorted. We'll need spraying probably at some point. And we decided to buy this field as well, field 27. Now, I've limed it, cultivated it, and it is ready to go. So, just been repaired the JCB, repaired the seeder, filled it up. Job is a good one, so we can get that pulled out of the way. We can get into the Xerion. Attach that to the seeder. There we go. Beep, beep, beep. Warning, Xerion reversing. There we go. All that there out the way. A lot of tractor hopping going on this morning. So we've fed the sheep, fed the cows. We do need, at some point, to think about using some more slurry. So probably another dose on the grass fields, if it will allow us to. Right, I'll get this back, we'll get it cleaned, put away, and then we'll start putting the grass section of our new field in. So we're starting off with the grass headlands, and then we'll do the grass side of the field. Now, if I just change that to that a second. So, what I'm thinking is if we turn on grass so we can see where we've been, I'd quite like to square up the section that we do the sugar beet in, just for ease, really. There's no real need to. I just think it'll look neater as a block of land. So we're going at 99 degrees at the minute. So what we'll do is we'll do one headland, come back down to this side, and then set a 90-degree heading to go back the way that opposite directions to we're going now, I think. And then we'll do the same going down the field. There we go. Careful not to drive into the pond. And then I think what that'll allow us to do, hopefully, get this lined up, is set a nice squared off rectangular shaped field. I think. There's method in my madness. This is about 180 degrees, this one, so that's good. So we can run it down at that, which is nice. Like square shaped fields, it's easier. And with the three headlands, two, maybe three headlands, depending on what we do for squaring it up. Like I said last time, should have plenty of turning space for the beet harvester. But that's the plan. We'll see how it looks at the end. We do need to grab a planter, but that's a little bit off yet. I mean, we'll get it done in this episode, but yeah, we'll hang on for a little while, I think. So yeah, so 180 down, 90 across, should work out good. Haven't decided on where we'll split the field. Probably relatively evenly, I think. Get this, for an articulated tractor, the pivot point really is not ideal. I think it probably warrants a different seeder with a slightly longer drawbar, maybe. But we've got what we've got. We're managing. And yeah, it's not going to cause us too many issues, I don't think. So you'll see from all the, I was going to say tyre tracks, but track and tyre tracks, that I've sort of been trying to work out where I want to be to set my straight edge. So if we just look at the screen, I thought if we go from here, we're going to be taking quite a chunk out of the field. So I thought we'll go a bit higher up, because this is going to be grass this side. And then what we'll do is, yeah, that'd work, won't it? Yeah, we'll do the same. Once we've done this edge, we can then go down, or start at this point down here and come up straight, do an edge that way and meet it all up. I think that will work, and then sort of fill in the gaps as we go. But yeah, I quite like the idea of, you know, it's a big old field. You'd probably end up getting, I don't know really, how many. We did the field, we did the contract on, was it 17? Sugar beet before, or was potato to sugar beet, one of the two? Sugar beet. And that was millions. So, you know, we're still expecting quite a good haul of sugar beets. So we'll need to put another bunker in. Not a problem at all. But very reasonably priced. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it, and like working, you know, we'll get a cut of the grass before we get the sugar beet off, and yeah, just something a bit different. I don't think I've ever sort of merged fields before, so, or at least had two crops in one field, not intentionally anyway. Right, what we will do is we'll give ourselves enough of a turning space down here just by adding another bit of headland. We'll run back down, fill in this top bit. There we go. Going to be a couple of passes in here to do, so extending the old headland is not going to be a bad thing. Right, let's find the line, which is going to be here. Yeah. There we go. Whoop. Hello. The old lag spike then. I was thinking, don't do this to me. Don't ruin the field. Right, I'll get the top bit done, and I'll see you when we're marking out the straight line for the long run. Right, so top of the field done. Now we want to be as close, probably here. Now let's have a look. Let's give it a whirl at that. 1 degree, no. Rotate that round. Control an up arrow. Okay, that's good. Get the old drill straight. There we go. Right. That on. That on. Drop that down. And this should then, with a bit of luck, there we go. Another straight edge there. Then we'll do the straight edge that way. And then we can run up the middle of the field, so to speak. In fact, we could, once we go up, we could just track across roughly and then split it down the centre of the map, essentially. Probably not quite the centre of the field, but it'll do for the purposes of this episode. There we go. Looking for the line. There we go. Job's a good one. So let's turn that off for a second. Follow our line this way. Where are we? In relation to the field number. A bit, keep going. More deceivingly big. One more. I reckon. Have we got a line here? That will do us. There we go. That's the one we want. That'll give us our order, so to speak. Turn that on. Turn that on. And go forwards. That should be bang on. So then all we need to do, fill this gap, grass this side, square the bottom. Job's a good one. Haha, right. I don't know whether I've done this the hard way or... I think this is, you know, it'll do. It'll do nicely. Precision farming is going to have an absolute fit trying to work out what we're doing. But for one field, the score doesn't really matter that much, so I'm not too fussed. There we go, that's not bad at all. Not three bad at all. Might as well hang on. Again, we're going to need to go to that corner, get right tucked in, and come back across at 90 degrees. So that's going to be that. A bit more, a bit more. There we go. The old weight stuck on the bund of the field. Right, so back to this corner. In fact, no. We're going to do the remaining side of the field so that the GPS or VCA, we can keep that up and down heading bang on with t'other one. So, a couple more headlands for this side of the field, which is where? There we go. Good job that action isn't a thing. At least, yeah, for us, because we are driving all over the shop trying to get the best way to work this lot out. But I'm liking how it's set up so far. We'll have quite a bit of grass, which is good because we are getting through the old feed. So having another grass field is going to do us well for keeping the animals fed, keeping the wool being produced, and the milk. Well, if we just drop into the map for a minute, you'll see the progress that we've made. Steady. You think, I did think at the start of this, thinking this is going to take forever. But it's actually, it's quite relaxing. You know what I mean? We've got VCA set. All we're having to do is drive up and down, making sure we don't miss any bits. Yeah, it's good for the soul. And I think that's probably why a lot of us play the game. Feeling all deep and meaningful for a second. You know, it's... You can't really mess it up, can you? You know what I mean? But it's good. I'm liking it. I'm liking the idea. Something different. And it should look pretty good. Once... And I think once it's germinated, we'll then slather it, or slather the grass bit in slurry, just to knock that nitrogen level up a bit. And yeah, I think that is the plan. I mean, we get it through the seed relatively quickly, a couple of percent per pass, so we might have enough for the whole of the field. So you can see now, bottom left, that the portion that we have done already to the left of the field is coming into view, so we are getting there. What's it going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 passes left, something like that. They're not too bad. And I think this is going to sound weird, and if you haven't watched any of the Terra Life Plus episodes that I've been doing, then you go and have a watch, because they're good fun and it is such a learning curve. So it's nice just to pick up your bog standard farm sim. That sounds like I'm doing it a disservice, but you know what I mean. Just turn up, plant just grass and just sugar beet. Don't need to worry about herb grasses or meadows or all this lot. And yeah, but I'm enjoying that series. I really, really am. It gets the old brain going, that's for certain. It's yeah, it's just, you sort of, or I am almost, it's trial and error, finding things out by mistake. I think I can say in this video, let me think, Monday, yeah, so in Monday's episode I will have realised that herbicide is not good. Well, that's what I think. Yeah, it takes some thinking about. It really does, but it's good. It is good. I need to crack on and do the wiki and then the tutorials, because yeah, my brain needs a bit of a rest. So legging it down the field, we have done this side and we have filled in this side. I'm a little bit miffed about this bit, not quite sure what happened there. Same for here, but never mind. Can't have it all, can you? So we want to be, where have we been, where have we not been? We want to be about there at 90 degrees. Go. That is bang on. Probably going to be just about 2. Yeah, that'll be okay. So, power on, lower down. Off we go. It should be enough. It'll be plenty. It's only be a couple of runs anyway. And then as we get this way, it's going to widen out. That's fine. Got what, 22% seed left. So we should have enough. But 50%. Job is a good one. Like I say, once it's germinated, we can then come through with the old slurry. There we go. That's spun round. Just about makes the one turn. There we go. Lower down. Set cruise control. Let's have a look. Of course it's going to save. That looks pretty good. It's a decent size for sugar beets. Now, I think what we'll probably end up doing is just making sure we catch every bit of the field so we don't have any holes in the grass coverage, because that just... it's not so bad with crop fields. But when you've got a grass field, it really does stand out like a sore thumb. Let's go there. You can just about see the different texture sort of this bit here. Lovely. That all done. Don't want to go overly mad. That looks good. Okay, I think that we are done with grass and the cedar. So let's get this back to the yard. We can then lose that. We'll buy ourselves a planter. Probably, I think. We can afford to. Get it loaded up with sugar beet seed, or beet seed. And fir, if we can. And then start putting the sugar beet in. We will roll both. The grass and the beet. Just because we'll probably end up doing it on horseplay. So let's get this out the way to here. That's such a comfortable ride. Fast track onto the drill, and then we can bring the plants back down with it. And that should work out alright, I think. So I'll get this back to the yard, and I'll see you when we're going to buy ourselves a new planter. Right, so cleaned, emptied. There you go, see, empty. Emptied the cedar. Now, I have had a quick look because I wanted to check which planters took fertilizer as well. So it doesn't. So that I think the old Vaderstad will do us fine. 12 meters, 6,920 liters capacity versus 9,000 liters. That one. 7,000, 18 meters, 70. That's all a bit big. I think 12 will be fine. 160 grand. Do we want a license plate? No. And press that lovely button. There we go. Right. Into this bad boy. Try and get enough lock on. There we go. Hooper. Now, change that to sugar beet while I remember. Refill that lot. Might need to give these a bit of a shove. Ooh, there we go. And then what we'll do is once we've topped up from these, I think we'll fill it up. We will fill it up just because it saves a trip, doesn't it? We've got the money. We've got the moolah. Fill that up to the brim. There we go. And the same for Bert. Why are you not filling up? Are we at cross purposes with our triggers, maybe? Not close enough? No. Oh dear, now I've hit the side. Let me, let me spin this round. See if it's, just being a little bit awkward. And I'll, end up seeing you in the field, I think. One does find that if one opens the cover where the fertiliser is supposed to go, then it does assist in the loading of said fertiliser. I'd forgotten that the yellow hoppers you can see on the top of the planter, they are the seed. And yeah, schoolboy error. The old whole crop silage is getting a little bit low. So yes, need to keep an eye out for when we can start thinking about chopping our oats, was it? I think barley. Barley, wasn't it? So yes, we'll have to have a think. Just looking, bouncing around. Probably should not be going 37 mile an hour on a farm track, but there is no time to waste. Right, you pulled up here, hanging off. Fire up the beast. And get ourselves a VCA course set up, I think. So thinking about things, I've decided to run a headland, well, probably a couple of headlands either end, leaving a little bit at the interface to the grass. Going that way, you can see I've left this bit just because I'm trying to just keep it square, basically. There's no other method to the madness than that, really, and keep it neat, because it will overwrite the grass, I think. So yeah, 2 headlands this end. We'll go down the other end. In fact, no, we won't. We'll do the straight edge down there. Do 2 headlands down that end. Straight edge back up. And fingers crossed, that should then just give us a nice border that we can fill in. And it'll look tidy-ish. Right. There we go. And lift up. There we go. Right, that can be cleared. It doesn't matter if we overlap a little bit on the straight edges, but what I don't want to do is just destroy everything that we've put down. So, taking our time is going to be the best option. So, let's get this squarer first. 180. There we go. Now, that wants to come a little bit that way. I think. So, back it up. Back it up, back it in. And then this is going to be the bit there. Hopefully that's going to be okay. We're on and we're rolling. Not rolling, but you know what I mean. There we go. This should... it's working. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. This is going to look really good, I hope. Well, somebody mows right through everything. Do like this planter. Do like it. Right, how close are we? Approaching the end. That'll do. Right, now. What are we going to do? Spin round. 90. Turn that off a second. Just in case. Where are we? Here. There we go. 90. Turn that on. Put it back to 90. There we go. Move that across. Just a bit. There we go. We'll back up. Have a good run at it so it gets the planter straight. Turn it on. Look very closely for where we want to be. Be a touch too far. There we go. And off we go again. So that's just probably a little bit over, but it shouldn't be making too much of a mess of things. No, that's alright. It's neat enough. For what we're going to get, it's neat enough. Right, I will finish the marking out, and I'll see you when we're on the up and down rows. So the tricky bit is done with. Oh, thank goodness. You'll have a look. It's relatively neat. I think as farm sim goes, that is relatively neat. And as I go, that is relatively neat. We're going to get a decent amount of sugar beet, a decent amount of grass off this. Grass, whether that be in hay form or silage or what we choose to do with it. There we go. Trying to keep the ends neat, but it's no real big issue. There we go. That's glistening in the afternoon sunshine. Did that catch anything with it? Just accelerating off a little bit quicker than we might be used to. There we go. Job's a good one. I'm not entirely sure on the sugar beet levels, as in the seed level. We may need to whiz back to the yard to grab it, or saying that we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 or 5 passes left, maybe. But it seems to be relatively good, so that's alright. Lift up, turn around, and then it's just a case of once this is done, we'll drop the planter off, and there we go. Grab the roller, probably set the roller on course play to be fair, and yeah, be done then. Like I say, we'll need to probably come through and do a bit of spraying at some point. But yeah, things are looking good. We've just come back to the field, having refilled the seed hoppers. We've got, it's hard to tell. I think 2, maybe 2 and a bit passes left, depending on how well I set the VCA. So yeah, we were never going to get field done with the seed that we got left. We got about 100 litres, I think it was. So yeah, thought we'll just razz back at a ridiculous speed to the yard and yeah, get refilled, and then we can finish off. Now, I think it's going to be close. The 2 runs, it's possibly going to be that 2 and that sort of strip of shame. There we go. But this is not... It's not taken as long as I thought it was going to. Once we started with the grass, I'm thinking this is going to be a mammoth job. But we've flown. We have flown through it. Put your teeth in. There we go. And yeah, I can't wait now. I want to see it. I want to see it growing. So we will definitely be into April for the next episode. There we go. Raise that up. Let's judge how bad this is going to be. Can we see it? You know what? It might be absolutely bang on. I mean, the shadows are getting properly long now. Very good. I think we're good. I think we're good. Let's just check. Can't see. No. I think we might be bang on. I might be tempted to turn and come back up just to make sure. But I don't think there's any need. But we'll do it anyway. We've got to head back up that way. So we might as well just make sure we don't have an unplanted strip of shame. So lift up. Turn around. Not going to sing. Don't want a copyright strike. Haha. And then get back on the line. Woo. There. And we'll see if anything goes down. I don't think... No, nothing is dropping. So we are bang on with what we've done. Which is... I am chuffed. I'm... if you can tell. I'm excited. It's cool to be trying to think of different things to do. But this map just facilitates that. It's just... It's epic. It really is. It's epic. So we'll run it to the end. There we go. Turn it off. Lift it up. Hold her up. Interestingly, you can see like a floating thing here. That is weird. How odd. Anyway, field is done. Haha. Go back to this one, see what state it looks. That's not actually that bad. Loads of grass, loads of sugar beet. Job is a good one. Right. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you to the YouTube channel members. Thank you to the Patreons. You're all awesome. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. I certainly have. If you have, leave us a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're not. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.